Good morning. Let's talk about fishing today. Fishing is by far my #1 hobby. I fish because it's fun, and I fish because it's food. And I'm going to show you how eat up I am with fishing. Here's the old boat. This is my storage box, rod box, where I keep some of my rods. There's 2 rods and 2 brim busters in there, and I'll show you one of those inside here in a minute. All my safety gear's in there, rain suits, tarp, all that kind of thing. There's a little survival kit in there somewhere, band-aids, underwater lights, you name it, it's in there. And we'll walk around this way. This storage box I keep my tackle. Use these little boxes like that. I've got a couple of the big tackle boxes, but it's easier to separate stuff in there. But as whichever season it is, I can take some out and add some different. And that's full of junk. Extra rope, gloves, binoculars, lights, line, this empty bags, all kind of stuff. And this is the live well. I was going to show that when I went that last fishing trip, but I didn't. But I built this little cabinet here several years ago. This is my rod cabinet. I do have several Zebco 33s, the closed face type reels. Those are okay. They all have a separate purpose for me. Everything has a purpose, each type of rod. That pink one belongs to my wife. You will not see me fishing with that. I'll get chased off the river, catch me with that one. And these are just spares. The ones inside I'm going to show you I keep in the boat. Now if I take my wife and we all go, I'll take hers and a couple of the other ones. Got to clean that out. Spiders have about taken over in there. Pardon the noise. Let's go in the shop. I'm going to show you what I carry with me all the time in the boat. These right here. And I get done showing you these, I'm going to tie some rigs and show y'all what kind of rigs I use. Now this big open face, I like spinning reels. It's my favorite, always has been. This is a 7-foot rod. This is the main size that I catfish with. Catfish, and when I go to salt water to the bay, catch some big redfish and sheephead and that type of thing, I'll use this. This is one size down. This will handle a big fish, a big redfish. You have to work him just right. For bass, that type of thing. A brim. Now when I say brim, I'm talking about bluegill, shell cracker, stump knocker, that type of fish. This little ultralight here fits in the palm of your hand. That's a good one. That, believe it or not, that little reel will handle a good fish if it's on a good rod. And this is a Rapala $92 rod, which I won in a radio contest years ago. I would never spend that kind of money for a rod. Now these reels all come from Walmart. They're nothing fancy, nothing expensive. This whole setup right here last year was $15.99, just like it is, except for the line. I took the line off because the line was too heavy. So let's move the camera right here. Now I'm going to show you a couple of rigs. My buddy Wayne at Wayne's Homestead, I told him last night I would show him. He did a video on rigs that they use, and I'm going to show you a couple that I use. You might want to try them, you might not, but this is the way I was taught to do things. And I was mainly taught by my grandfather, because my father didn't fish. He would take me fishing to shut me up out to the bay, to the pier. Oh, used to be the old Bay Bridge, places like that. He'd take me and sit in the car and let me fish. Excuse me. Then after my grandfather retired, I started spending a lot of time with him on the boat. He had a big mullet boat with a big net that we'd go out on. And then we'd fish the bays, and then he bought a different boat, a little smaller boat, and we started going up river fishing. And I call him the old man of the sea, because there's not a fish anywhere that he couldn't catch. And we'd go out and target, you know, specific kind of fish. We'd mullet fish with the big boat, but with the big net we'd catch all kind of stuff. If we went up the river, we'd mainly brim fish with either cane poles or brim busters. Now this is a brim buster, what we call brim buster. This is a B&M Black Widow. In the fishing videos that I've made, y'all see me I use these right here. It's 10 feet long. Closes up. Telescopic pole. Very good. This one's a couple years old. I've got one in the boat, I think it's 7 or 8 years old. Made in China, of course, like most everything. But at Walmart, those are, or most tackle stores, they're right around $10. Not a big deal. But this one, it's the same thing, except this is a Jimmy Houston autographs camo, and ooh, fancy. But the only reason I picked it up, there was only one there, and it was on sale for $9.95. Why not? And that's mainly what I brim fish with. Now, I noticed on Wayne's video, he uses swivels to put his hooks on. And throw out brim bluegill rigs to start with. I don't like that, and I don't recommend that at all, because the more unnatural that bait looks, no matter what kind of bait you're using, if it looks a little odd to them, they'll swim up to it and look at it and swim off, and they won't bother with it. Same thing, if they bite and start to pull, and there's too much resistance there, a lot of times they'll let it go and swim off. You get those bites where it just dot, and you don't catch nothing, that's what's happening. And these little corks here are bobbers or floats or strike indicators, whatever you want to call them. I gave a bunch of these away a while back because I don't use them. I don't like them. I won't use them on the river, scared somebody might see me. So these here, I got these. A guy gave me a big tackle box full of stuff a while back, and that's where they came from. So what I do with these is in the trash can. I don't use them. Alright, so we start with floats. I use these little small cork floats. So let's turn this down just a little bit. Alright, you don't need anything any bigger than that. Now Wayne, you and Jay know, if y'all can't get these where you are, let me know and I'll get you some and send to you. Alright, there's a couple different styles. These here, a little bit bigger, but these are solid cork, real cork. And that one's used, it's lost the stick out of it. Alright, that's the kind of corks I use. Alright, I noticed too that I think your hook's a little bit big. Now all this is a suggestion now. I mean, you might want to try this. If it works for you, it does. If it don't, it don't. I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong. There's no right or wrong way to fish. It's how you want to fish. That hook right there, that's big enough for any bluegill catfish that you're going to catch. That's big enough. That is a number 7 mustad. They're black, they're wire hooks. If you get hung up on something, that hook will bend, and you can a lot of times straighten it back up and use it several times. But that's the size hook I use. Now in the other brand, in the True Turn brand, it's a 2 turns of number 6. I don't know why they're different sizes for different manufacturers. That's just the way it is. But it's the same size as this. And True Turns have the little crook in the back of them. They're good, but they're not wire. If you pull too hard on a snag or something, they'll break. Now they're okay. Used them for a long time, but I prefer the wire hook. Now all the weight you need, all that I use is a BB shot. 1 BB shot. I've got a, this is my little box here. As soon as I start fishing on the boat, set it down beside me. There's one right there. Okay, and here we'll put our cork right here. Now another thing, line. You want to use the lightest line you can. I use no bigger than a number 8. Now this is 8-pound spider wire. I use this on the brim busters and on the ultralight. And I really prefer number 6-pound. This is 6-pound strand. This was actually in a discount bin for $2 or something like that, so never hurts to have extra. And I've used this for, this is going on the 3rd season now. But let's see, let me get a little closer and make sure you can see this. I'm going to show you, now this is the way I do it. Sorry about the wind noise, but I cannot sit out here without that air conditioner on. Heat index has been over 105, 106 every day this week, and it's just going to get worse. And one of these times I'll remember to bring my glasses where I can see. Well, hang on. There we go. Alright, run your cork up. Now how deep you set it is just depends on the fish. I start out about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 foot, and then adjust it if I need to. Put your cork in it, your stick in it. There you go. Now next, I tie the hook on the bottom straight to the line. Now this part, as far as the knot, it doesn't really matter, whichever knot you're comfortable with. It's another one of them times when I need my glasses. Go through one time. This is my favorite knot for everything. Go through twice. Alright, what you do, you create 2 loops. Twist it. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And then come back through both loops. And pull it tight. Just like that. I'm going to use some bigger line here in a minute and do that same knot again if you didn't see that good. A lot of people don't use their good tools like I do. I use my teeth a lot. That little bit of excess there, snip that right off. Alright, there's your hook. Now take your BB shot, Squeeze it on there. And don't let it go down here to the end. Bring it on up this way like that. Because that fish swims up there and he looks at that bait, he's going to see that too if it's down here. And clip it up there. I know it's lead, it's not, you're not supposed to put it in your mouth, but I clamp it down with my teeth. So let's see, let's move up a little bit. Okay, there's the rig, just like that. Okay, hope you can see that really good. Alright, that is a brim bluegill bass. Those bass you see me catch on the fishing videos that I made, that's exact rig, just like that. Let's see, put that there. I got this paper towel down here so maybe you can see better. Pardon me. Alright, move this out of the way. Now for a catfish rig, same thing with the swivel. Ditch the swivel. Well, I do. And I have got to get another pack. This is the last one of these I have. I don't know what size that hook is, but I do have another pack. Okay, these are Eagle Claw number 2. Bait holder number 2. A little bit bigger hook is fine. I've used a little bit bigger hook, but that's big enough. Pardon me. Now I do have circle hooks, and I've got bait holder, a live bait type hooks, or you can use live bait on these too though. Catfish is not as particular as your bluegills are. Let's see, let's take this big rod here because it's not rigged anyway. On this big rod, this is, I believe this is 15-pound test, which is more than plenty. Don't oversize your line. Now we're going to basically do the same thing, except no float, no cork on it. This is a half-ounce egg sinker. Run that egg sinker up a ways. Take a little bit bigger split shot. Put underneath it. All that's for is to keep your egg sinker from sliding down. Squeeze it on with your teeth or your pliers, whichever you prefer. I'm going to take this, I'm going to tie the same knot. If I can see it. Through it again. All right, you've got 2 loops there. 4 wraps. Come back through. Pull it tight. There's your knot. Yeah. Alright, and there's our rig right there. Now I don't worry about it when the bait hits, it lands on the bottom. It's going to lay right flat on the bottom. Now an old catfish, when he's hunting something to eat, you can watch them in an aquarium or something. They're flat down, that's why their bellies are white. They're flat down on the bottom, and that nose is going like this, right down on the bottom. When he comes across that in the bottom, if it's halfway in the mud, it don't matter. If he smells it, he wants it, he's going to eat it and grab it and go. And when he grabs it, let's see, let's move it down here, see if I can show you a little better. When he grabs the bait and swims off, he don't feel this egg sinker go with him. See how that slides right through there? You don't feel that resistance. Because they'll do just like a bluegill. When they feel that resistance of a weight coming with them, unless they just inhale it to start with, they'll let it go and they'll spit it out. And a good chance you'll miss that fish. Now this is the same rig that I use for live bait fishing for the most part. Red fishing, cheap heads, all that stuff. Sometimes I'll use a float on a live bait, and that's just a big float like this one. A big float like this one, because when you use a live bait, I use a bluegill the size of my hand. Big one, you know, y'all seen the ones I was using, about half the size of your hand anyway. When you live bait fishing, you get a cork and a hook, and that's it. No weight, no nothing. Just let that fish, no swivels, just let him swim around. But that depends on what you're fishing for and where you're at. Well, there we go. There's the rigs that I use. Hang on. Here we go with the camera. Give it a try. Hope it works for you. If it does, let me know. If it don't, tell me, hey, you dummy, I've wasted a half a day with your rigs and they didn't work. Now around here, this time of year, mid-July through probably the first week of September, it is just so hot that I don't fish a lot during these months. Well, this year especially, I'm not able to handle the heat. But last year was hotter than this. So this year is nothing new. It's hot like this every year. Do this the whole month of August and part of September. It's so hot that it just, I mean, you can catch fish if you can stand the heat. But I can't stand it, so I don't go much. My buddy Mike, great big tall giant Mike, he stopped by this morning, wanted me to go mullet fishing with him, go watch him get some mullet. But it's just so hot down there, I didn't feel like going. But I got a few more weeks and I might do some more mullet fishing, or I'll go with him and watch him anyway. I can't sling that big net just yet. But just remember, your rod and reel don't matter that much, whatever you like to use. Don't oversize your line, don't oversize your hook, and keep it looking as natural as you can. Now night crawlers, Canadian night crawlers that you get at Walmart, you can get them here at Walmart, and we tried them when they first came out. They don't seem to work here, not for me anyway. I think it's because it's a whole different type of worm. It comes from somewhere else, and it's a foreign type thing here. So for me, they don't work, not even for catfish, so I don't bother with them. But we use earthworms, which are bigger than wigglers, regular earthworms, which local bait stores got those. They come from LA, and they have them all the time. Now LA for us is lower Alabama. That's where there's some big worm farms up there that supply bait and tackle stores. They're good for catfish. Brim will bite them too. Bass will bite them. A size worm down, wigglers. Wigglers work good for brim. Bluegill, catfish will sometimes bite those. They're just a smaller worm. Y'all check out Worm Getter's YouTube channel. Y'all go watch Duke. He's got a little tool that you can get that actually help you dig them, find your own. And that's wigglers is what he's got. And I'm sure he's got some earthworms around that place somewhere. But catfish, we use shrimp a lot of times. If you do get you some shrimp, peel it, put it on the hook, take that shell off of it. Just like Wayne used chicken livers and that dough bait, that's very good also. Cut bait, mullet, cut mullet, because everything eats mullet, just like shrimp, everything eats shrimp. Shad, just any kind of fish that's in your local water, if you can catch some and cut it up for bait, and it's legal to do, some places it's not. Anything natural to where you're fishing, that's your best bet, in my opinion. Alright, ran a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I can talk about fishing all day. My number one hobby, fishing. Number two is hunting. Number three is knife making. They just all three go together to me. So that does it on the fishing. Y'all that's on subscribe to my Facebook page, Wallace Knife Works on Facebook. Within the next 2 or 3 weeks, that page is going to get updated, and I know how I want it to look. I can't figure out how to put the stuff in there, so I've got to wait till I can. One of the boys have got time to help me with it. We're going to update the page, make it a little bit easier to see the pictures, and put a good solid price list up there and that type of thing. So y'all keep that in mind. That's coming. It's going to be a couple weeks, like I said, but that's in the works too. I'm starting to get geared up now to get back to knife making, because yesterday was 4 weeks. 2 more weeks and I can start gradually picking up, lifting, moving, that type of thing. And 2 weeks after that, I should be good to go. So, with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Y'all stay cool in this heat, and I'll see you next time. Oh, catch lots of fish too.